Guys, this is about my 7th attempt at making this video. Every time I do, someone walks in or wants something or something is up somewhere in the day. I've been up since about 8:30 and I've only just now, at 11:15, had time to try to make a 20-minute video. Or, 10 is how long I'm aiming for this to be. Anyway, rant over. I'm just mentioning that because I'm surprised my tinnitus hasn't spiked from it, because similar things in the past have made it spike. Similar things like that. Constantly my attention's somewhere else, my ears are tuning in, waiting to be, hear someone calling me or something. And yeah, typically that would spike it, but it's not doing it at the moment, which, yeah, it's a lot quieter. Generally I'm getting a lot quieter. It's seeming much more like my pre-spike tinnitus level. And that wasn't a bad level, to be fair, that was pretty quiet. I remember mainly there was one main background sort of very quiet hiss type thing, and then a slightly more piercing one on the top. And the piercing one, I'm going to go into a couple of details because I figure I would have loved to have seen videos of people talking about the quirks that their tinnitus had. But fundamentally, this video is going to be aimed at how to get through rougher patches with tinnitus. And by that I mean where, you're having a bad day with it basically, or a bad few days, or a bad week. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, because, yeah, like I was saying, I would have loved to have seen videos where people talk about, like, with my experience with tinnitus, before it spiked, if I did that, it would, like, not click the neck, but I would hear some sort of clicking. It would be very, very much like a finger click, but it wouldn't happen near a ligament, or anything like that. Sorry, what was it? Cartilage, any of that sort of stuff, which is where the click happens. It wasn't a bone crunching or anything like that, And when I did that, it would switch the sound off for about half a second, or, if I did it with my shoulder, to a lesser degree the left shoulder, and I'd feel it down, not on my spine, but right next to it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. My best guess is that there's nerves there, because, this whole area is tons of nerves and all that are, affected by all sorts of movement. So that will affect the tinnitus, when you're moving about. But yeah, but when it started to spike, it got to the point where any variation in it would affect the tinnitus. Like I would stand up straight, I would swing my leg back and forth, and because that would pull on the spine a little bit, it would click it off, it would click the sound off, which is really strange. But yeah, like I say, with stuff like, doing that, I can hear the tinnitus, and all of this really is just evidence that it's not a hearing issue, it's a nervous system issue. Just if you want proof, try it yourselves. Don't listen into the tinnitus if you're, still in a bad state. For any newbies and that, just don't try this. But for anyone else who's, curious, yeah, try it. And listen. Pay attention to what's going on with the sound. Do all sorts of movements. See if you can hear and feel the sensation shifting. But yeah, just interesting stuff for anyone that's not quite completely sold on the idea. That's not a hearing issue. That is not a physical, you're literally hearing that, because if your hearing was that acute, you'd be hearing God knows what, flies buzzing and stuff. But anyway, I'm starting to get sidetracked like I normally do, and I want to keep this one shorter than the others, because basically I'm just going to be summing up my feeling on how to deal with bad days with the tinnitus, because we all have them. To me, there looks like there's not a set pattern, but a general pattern with the tinnitus. It doesn't seem mysterious to me anymore, like it was all those years that I had it. It doesn't look confusing at all. The idea of it being a nervous system disorder explains every strange thing that happened with it. Like I say, sometimes doing that would work, clicking it off. Other times it wouldn't work so well, and if you did it a few times in a row, it wouldn't work, and it's just all sorts of strange things. There was no set physical thing that would trigger it. It seems to vary on and off. You have bad days out of nowhere, and you'd have good days out of nowhere. So yeah. My basic view on how to get through the rough days, because we all have them. Like I say, tinnitus has a pattern to it, even with myself, and I think I'm doing excellent, personally. That's my feeling on it, whether I've still got it or not, doesn't matter. Compared to the new year, and even compared to a month ago, it's getting better and better and better. I'm getting more periods where it's starting to dull off, and I don't want to listen too much to it. But yeah, it's getting quieter. There's still a persistent ringing, but the other noises are really backing off, and the persistent one's a lot less intense, a lot less noticeable. And at night, it's like I can feel the pressure in the ears coming away, which I think is down to the muscles in the inner ear spasming less, and they're in charge of balancing the air pressure on either side of the drum. But For the most part, I don't think it pays to worry too much about the details of what's going on here, because it gets you very much in the head worrying about everything. There's a general trend, which is calm down, all of that will fix itself. You know, the body's not stupid, it knows what to do. But yeah, so anyway, I'll get to the point. My ideas on dealing with the rough days. Because, yeah, they're inevitable. That's the simple truth. You're going to have them. They're going to happen. Yeah, even in recovery, we're going to have them. I have them, semi-often, not all the time, obviously, but it goes up and down, like I say. The main point is to understand that they're a natural part of it, even in the healing process. And the idea is the peak should get lower over time, like I say, not over a couple of days, not even over a week, but over a month, Just, yeah, gradually the peak should get lower and lower and lower. Until eventually you'll get to a point where the tinnitus disappears. I'm certain that's what I'll be working towards, and I couldn't predict when I expect my tinnitus to be cured, because frankly it's up to me and it's up to you to deal with your own. It's our jobs to get in touch with the body and learn what it's telling us. I mean, I'm finding it really interesting I'm starting to get a lot more out of the head and more into the body, and yeah, I get some days where I'm just sort of buzzing with joy, emotionally. I don't mean like bipolar, swapping about. I mean just some days where life just feels really damn good. I got a lot of reason to as well, to be fair. Like, this YouTube stuff's really taking off. I'm liking that. I'm at 27 subs, which is not like a huge amount of subs, but I'm amazed. That seems to have shot up like a rocket to me, and I'm honoured that you guys, whoever subbed and all that, get enough out of these to do that. Yeah, I'm really, really pleased, and I'm happy that you are, keep turning up. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, there's gonna be rough times, there's gonna be rough patches, there's gonna be days where you just wish it would, be quiet, and it won't, and no matter what you do, whether it's all sorts of things that help in the short term, like hot showers, ice, or hot baths, all that sort of thing. I've found that they work, other people have, white noise is useful, obviously, all the usual best things we've got for short-term relief, because it's not like having a headache with tinnitus. You can't pop a pill and have it go away for a few hours and then deal with it later. We don't get a break like that, because the tinnitus isn't necessarily an ailment in that way. It's just, it's part of who we are, really. We exist, us recoverers, us sufferers, whatever you want to call it. We live our day-to-day lives in a way where the stress is there, whether we're quite aware of it or not. That's the point. We're out of touch with our bodies, and we're not listening to it when, we get bad vibes that trigger a response and, amp up the nervous system. And we're just that over the limit that we can hear it. That's all it is. There's a million reasons why different people get it, because, everyone is different. Everyone interprets stress in a different way. And that's what's important to remember. That explains why some people get it when they go to a concert and their mate that went with them won't, It explains all of that, to me. That's what I feel. It doesn't look mysterious like that. And that really, the fact that there's a pattern, really takes the stress away for me. Like I say, I have rough days, or rougher. The worse my tinnitus gets, the worse I get with it, is just, oh yeah, it's a bit louder today. It'll be quieter tomorrow, or a couple of days from now, It will certainly not be stuck like this for a week straight. And that's an incredible state to get to, for me. Because like I say, only a few months ago, it was, will I get my life back, or, before the new year. I was really starting to despair with it. And that was when the despair really started to kick on, because I noticed that as the spike, once it begun, as it was going on and getting worse, doing this sort of stuff, trying to manipulate it to change the sound, was working less and less. It was having an effect, but it got to the point where it wasn't switching the sound off or dulling it at all. And that was when the tears started to come, because just nothing I could do would change it. And I wasn't aware yet that I could reverse it just by calming down. Yeah, it was strange. But yeah, I got through that state, like I say, mainly by watching videos of people, ones I've mentioned plenty, that have been through this thing, even after 20 odd years of it or whatever, and having it really bad. They got through it and they cured themselves, and all the technical info seems to fit with the way I view how the human body works. And yeah, I know not only intellectually, I know emotionally that if I'm having a bad day with tinnitus, if it's louder, it will come down again. And that's the hardest bit for anyone who's watching this that has not had it improve significantly yet. You have to, for the most part, you have to have it improve before you'll really believe that you can get better. And unfortunately, that's just something you need to work on. You know, you need to take a leap of faith with this. You just got to keep working on the stress. Try not to worry so much. You know, I won't say like, oh, maintain a positive outlook as if you're forcing yourself to think happy, but you know, it'd be better than nothing, I'll grant you. But it's about really learning to relax. You know, here for me, it's almost like it feels like it's got a physical place, and I can really feel how connected that is. When I get stressed now and the tinnitus starts to spike, it makes me pay attention to down in the body, and just oh yeah, you know, I can feel like a direct connection. There's a bit that starts to feel, ugh, I don't like this, you know, or I'm uncomfortable, or this is a bit much, you know, or yeah, I'm gonna go sit down and do nothing now, you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, you know, I recognize that, and the next day the tinnitus will be quieter, you know, or later on in the day it will be quieter. You know, the point is there is a process to it. It's about learning to connect the dots with it. So yeah, that's the main advice in regards to rough days. Is just you have to learn and believe that it will disappear. You know, it will get better. You will recover, and obviously you can do all the stuff. You know, like the white noise. You know, to mask it. You know, hot baths and showers. I used to go for walks semi often, but for the most part, when I did that was when it was almost like I was trying to get away from it. You know, my mind was very hooked onto it, focusing. So I'd walk out, you know, you'd be near heavy traffic, or I'd be near heavy traffic, just to try to drown it out, and I'd be listening for it, you know, and that didn't help. But you know, I'd recommend it. Just yeah, go to places that are semi busy. But then again, I find like I use earplugs for certain things, mostly just for when there's loud noise, gigging and stuff, and I'm a lot less cautious with it than I used to be, because when I first got the tinnitus, it was 6 months after starting to wear plugs, and it come out of nowhere. You know, I'd had a few months with no band practice or no gig or anything like that, and the tinnitus come out of nowhere, just a day, an ordinary day, and it just didn't leave. Which, you know, the first 2 weeks were absolutely terrifying, and I was just hoping, yeah, oh, please be a bug, you know, please just be a bug or something. But I went and got my ears checked at the GPs, and just, no, there's no sign of infection. I'm certain many of your stories will start that way as well. Just, you know, no sign of infection, maybe you should go see an ENT. And I didn't bother with anything like that, because for starters, I don't got the money, I don't know how that works, and just, yeah, by that point, I'd gotten used to the noise, you know. It wasn't that bad, so yeah, I carried on my life for the next 6 years, whatever, and you know, that was till I got the spike, and yeah, I wasn't living with that. There was no drowning that out. But yeah, but I'm grateful for it, because it's allowed me to get to a stage where I've actually found answers. You know, and it was quite strange as well, because I know someone posted my videos, or reposted, or whatever it's called. They posted them up on one of the websites that I went to when I first got it. And that was the place where, you know, whatever part of it I stumbled onto, it was just all negative stories. And I just went, nope, not looking at that. It's quiet. I can ignore it. It's fine, you know. And for 6 years, it more or less was, you know. And it would have ups and downs then, but generally it stayed pretty constant. But yeah. So I'm grateful to be at the stage now, through all of that, where I know that I can cure this. And that feeling, that knowledge, that intuitive, yeah, just a gut feeling, I know I can cure it. You know, even if it was bad again, I'd be able to tolerate that, because I know I can make it better. That's the biggest bit. So yeah, dealing with rough days, do whatever you can. You know, white noise, all that stuff. Any technical thing you can to help take your mind off it. But that's the big bit. Take your mind off it and try not to worry about the fact that it's louder that day. It will come down again. And over time, it will reduce, so long as you keep at it. And yeah, it's up to you, fundamentally. That's the real problem with it. This isn't a thing that a doctor can give you a pill and zap you to good health. You know, this tinnitus stuff is much more closer to home than just a minor imbalance of some kind that a doctor can address, you know, or a physical injury or anything. You know, it's us, the nervous system. It's who we are. You know, we need to deal with that. We need to take care of ourselves. So yeah, keep working at calming down, relaxing, getting more in touch with your body, and learning when things are stressing you, when things are aggravating you, or making you feel less, or yeah, just making you feel less. Being empowered with this stuff, I think, is important. You know, I'm certainly starting to feel it. You know, there's things that I do that take energy away from me, if you know what I mean, and it doesn't feel good, but I feel inclined to do it. I feel like a bad person if I don't. And yeah, I know that a lot of that contributes to the tinnitus, definitely. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes with dealing with that myself. But yeah, so I'm at the risk of running over to quite a long length. Basically, just ride them out, ride the bad days out, you know, because over time they'll get fewer and fewer. For those of you that have still not got to the point where you've got like a good day yet, you know, if you're still in that bad stage, just believe, you know. It gets into getting zen like again. But yeah, just you can get better, I swear. You know, I've done it, others have done it, many have cured themselves. And yeah, some people are stuck in that fearful state and they'll stay there. That's unfortunate. You know, I wish there was something we could do to help them, but again, this stuff is about you, what you choose. You know, whether you choose to have it, no one would choose to have tinnitus, but there's things that you do that cause it. You know, behaviors that you do in your day-to-day life that stress you. And this is about learning to undo those. So yeah, again, rough days, they happen. You know, eventually they'll get better to the point where, like, the stage I'm at, yeah, the rough days are really not that bad. You know, just a bit louder today. You know, play a video game. Don't worry about it. And it gets better the next day. So yeah, I hope this helps. I might upload it, I don't know. Depends, I'll watch it back and I'll see. But yeah, I hope you will start improving soon. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.